Hello guys, welcome back, and in this video I want us to check the when method, the when Laravel query method, and it is quite interesting using this method. It's kind of like a conditional method that is used to check certain conditions from the query or from the collection that you're getting from the database. So without further ado, let us dive in and see how we can be able to apply this. So if you go to the documentation here, for example, here we have a collection, all right? And this is a simple array that has been passed to the collect method. It creates a collection. And here we have a collection, and then you call the when method, and if the condition is true, and then you have a callback function here. And this callback function can take a collection and maybe a value. And so this is an example here. And again, when the condition is false, do something with the callback function. So I have a method here in my code which I think I've used an if statement. And just for the sake of testing this collection and see how it works, I'm going to refactor this code a little bit here. So when I go, this should be in services, all right, in question services here. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm just I'm submitting, or rather I'm deleting question based on the question ID that has been passed here. So I get the question ID, and then I go to this model, to the database, to check if there is any kind of that ID in the database. If it exists, then I delete. I also check for the question ID. If it exists, I also delete. Can be able to transform this code to something like this. The Laravel way and the recommended way is this. And then we say when, all right, as we have seen. And then we have the condition, which is, of course, will be this open-ended question exists. So if this guy exists, then we can just continue and say function like that to pass our callback there. And then inside here, of course, we need again to pass our guy that we are using here. So we'll have something like this, and then we'll call the delete guy. The delete guy is something of that sort. All right. And then, of course, we need to pass this guy to the function that we are using here. So like that. And then again, we can be able to say for the closed question, if you call the when function, and then, of course, we'll pass this guy exists. Let me copy faster here, and then we'll call our callback function here. Function, and then we'll pass our guy here. All right, and then of course we'll do that like that, and here we can just say delete like that. And then of course I can now just remove this if. Of course the code looks quite it looks quite long as compared to the first one. So going back to the Laravel documentation, as you can see, you can also structure kind of like an if else statement, whereby we are told, for example, a second callback may be passed to when method. The second callback will be executed when the first argument given to the when method evaluates to false. So you can be able to pass actually something like this. Like a second callback to this when method. And so when this parameter that has been passed to the when method evaluates to false, then this second function or this second callback will be executed. Also on this when function, we have WhenEmpty, and this WhenEmpty will be executed or will apply when the collection is empty. All right. And so, for example, here the collection has the string Michael and Tom, and when it is empty, we want it to have a value of, or to push a value of, Adam. And in this case, of course, it is not empty. So when you call the collection, it will just be the same. And in the second case here, we have the collect method, which creates an empty collection. And so when you execute this when empty and you push a value of Adam, then it will push a value of Adam to this collection, and when you query the collection, of course, you see the value Adam here. And that is again one of the cool methods that you can apply on collection while using the when query method. And then of course we have the WhenNotEmpty, which will execute when the collection is not empty. You can pass a second callback here, which will be executed when the collection is of course empty. So guys, check out the when method and how to use it and how cool it can be when when evaluating if statement and querying with filters and all that stuff. And yeah, it's quite an interesting method. And until we meet again, bye bye.